What is going on, everybody? Critic and the Common Man here. As you can see, we are reviewing not only Outside the Wire, but potentially Anthony Mackie's best movie.
We are
Stay
here
tuned.
at the forward operating base in Sacramento, California. We have several gimps,
Gumps.
whatever you want. We have them all.
There's a few gimps running around the outside.
We have some grumpy people, some people in leather, some robots. What you want?
Guys, we are going to be reviewing Outside the Wire today on Netflix. Anthony Mackie and the big movie for him coming out. If this is your one and only spoiler warning, this is going to be a full review. So if you've not seen Outside the Wire, click off of this, go give it a watch, come on back and let us know what you think. I thought it would be appropriate to wear the Captain America shirt since we are dealing with an Avenger.
And the next Captain America.
And the next Captain America. Very true. I don't know, man. I got to say, okay, going into this, let me just lay this all out there so you guys get a little idea of kind of where I'm coming from. Not a fan of Anthony Mackie. Not a fan of his acting. I don't know, man. He's kind of one-dimensional to me. He also kind of ruined, now, and I guess I can't really blame him, but partially ruined Altered Carbon, which I really liked that show and was like just getting into it, and then he came in, made that show way worse. Not my favorite actor, and so ergo pretty low expectations for this movie. Started out pretty much hooked on it throughout the whole thing. I'm not going to lie. Pleasantly surprised with this. One of my favorite roles that Anthony Mackie has played, not just movies, but roles that I've actually seen him in. What'd you think about this one, man? Did you love it? Hate it?
So the first 15, 20 minutes, I was hooked. I was totally in. Not to say that I wasn't for the rest of the film. I'm not saying this as like some sort of preamble to me destroying the film. I was definitely like really into the film. I really liked the idea of there being this drone pilot. I liked the realism of there being these like robots. I thought that was super realistic and probably going to happen at some point if the United States or any power out there can figure out how to do that kind of technology. I loved it. I thought it was it was a nice look into what the future military world could look like. I thought the idea of there being this demilitarized zone, in Europe was realistic. Yes, buddy, I see you. Yes, hi. What I didn't like was immediately when you found out that this guy was like an AI, or he wasn't an AI. Whatever it was that, can you not bite my shirt? I'm right here. I'm wearing it. I am literally in the process of using this.
You are full on under attack, dude.
Once I kind of got that from him, like when he turned around and he showed his back and it kind of like peeled away and stuff, I was like, what is this? You are... One second. Hey.
Life with a puppy, man. Life with a big puppy.
Yeah, he's super strong. Dude, I thought he was like 25, 30 pounds. He's like over 50 pounds now.
Oh, yeah, he's a big boy. They're like, oh, yeah, this guy's going to stay small. He'll be a little guy. You're like, all right, cool. 70 pounds later.
Looking at photos of what he used to look like, I'll put one here. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, and then now, like, I would never have guessed he was going to get this big. But anyways.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to be smaller.
Yeah.
Sorry, so you were saying about that him turning into an AI or turning out to be AI?
That's where it kind of lost the realism to me and it became sci-fi. And not to say that I don't like sci-fi, because I love sci-fi. But it was like this weird kind of mixing between the two, and from there on, I didn't really know what to expect from the film. I was still in. I really liked the idea of him kind of being a humanized... I don't know what to call him. Artificial intelligence. He straight up said, "I'm not an AI." Like the Gumps are the AI.
Right.
Yeah,
he's like a cyborg kind of not even a cyborg, because that's like part. I don't know. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he said he was.
It's interesting.
Synthetic. I don't know. Whatever he is. This artificial being. It was interesting to see him, kind of like portray emotions and all this kind of stuff. Where the movie lost me was when it started to like go back and forth with what this character wanted. Where I was like, okay, like you gotta pick something, because now it got to the point where it was trying to be smart, and clever, and with like the motives, and like, well, he actually tricked me, but he didn't trick me because I trust him, but he actually did trick me, and now he's tricking these people, but they don't know that, but now they're being tricked, and then he tricked me with the bank, and now I'm gonna trick him. And then it was just like, okay, like, I get it. I get what they're trying to do. And then at the end, the whole thing was really just him like, no, I just want to die. Like, you could have just said, shoot me. Like,
Yep. It turned into such a typical. Now, don't get me wrong. I liked this movie. I definitely didn't love this movie. I have plenty of positives and negatives to say, but it turned into such a typical Netflix action movie.
Yes.
It was like we were watching Bloodshot again. It was very, very similar, almost the same movie. And as soon as I heard the line, if Koval gets the nukes, it's the end of the world as we know it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this has been done
like,
10,000 times before.
It's Tenet at this point.
Yeah, this is Tenet. This is Bloodshot. This is every Netflix action movie. It's some random Russian dude or whatever who's
Always
not
Russian.
that smart, and then somehow is in possession of either like some quantum computer that can shut the whole world down, or he has nuclear codes and he's going to launch them. It diminished the plot of the movie so heavily.
You know what I just realized? Do you remember City of God? Throwing it back to that movie, which I don't think we ever put out a review for it.
Did we? Oh yeah, I think our audio got messed up.
Yeah,
that was one of the ones where like my audio on my end was all screwed up.
Yeah, that Double World. There was one other one. Yeah, thank God Double World never got put out.
Yeah, dude, that would have taken us off YouTube for sure. Oh man.
But yeah, anyway, City of God. What was the name of the guy? Was it Carrot Top? One of the the white guy that was like for some reason in Brazil.
I think it was Carrot Top.
Yeah, with the big poofy hair and stuff.
Yep.
I guess it wasn't him. Whoever it was that ran the other gang that wasn't Lil Zay's, the white guy with like the balding and I swear to God, is the same actor as the bad guy in this movie. They're not, but they have the same look, and
yeah.
Just the long hair and like the kind of slimy, weaselly. But
yep.
I was watching this and I was like, there is nothing to me about this guy, this Koval, Klondike.
Yeah, yes. Klondike bar.
Yeah.
Koval. Yep.
Koval. There was nothing about him that kind of screamed like multi-billion. Like, I didn't buy that this guy was like going to be in possession of these like amazing like. Nah. You're never going to have these nuclear codes. Now, I don't know what part of you thought you were ever going to be smart enough to own these. You're not. If it's not this guy, somebody else is going to come and take it from you. Like, I just didn't buy it.
No, he was not threatening at all because they tried to set the villain up to be Leo. It was Leo, right? The AI guy, Anthony Mackie. They tried to set him up to eventually be the villain, and then so Koval was just kind of in the middle. I don't know. Yeah. I couldn't help but think throughout this movie of the sexual applications of that AI technology, dude. I mean, sex sells, man. I gotta say, could you imagine the kind of robots that could be made, the kind of partner sex robots that could be made if that technology was real, dude? Could you imagine? Relationships as we know them, Chris, would be gone. There would be nobody would be in a relationship like this. You know how fast we would go to war if they could make robots that looked like gorgeous women and were indiscernible from the real thing. Women would send us to war with whatever country was creating those devices, dude. It would be over. It would be over. Every woman could have an Anthony Mackie just doing whatever they wanted. He could be a tender, patient lover, and he could talk,
speak multiple languages,
and speak multiple languages. He would be fluent in cunnilingus, and he would just. Dude, it would be over. But that's how it goes, man. The military gets technology first, or NASA or somebody. They try to privatize it, and then as soon as it gets out and starts getting used, they're like, all right, cool, you guys can have microwaves. Like, we can't weaponize this or whatever, so here's a microwave. It'd be the same thing, dude. First, it's Anthony Mackie killing terrorists. Next thing you know, it is full-on sex robot orgy for a very, very affordable price.
Another good movie. Full-on sex robot orgy is a fantastic film.
Full-on sex robot orgy. FOSRO. Froso.
That was really
for
fast.
Short.
That was
fast. My mind was working overtime, dude. If I could have half of that mental capacity when I was taking tests or exams, we would be good. We would be good. Yeah, him turning and deciding that he was going to be like this, I'm a double agent guy, but I'm saving your
And
life,
I
kid.
couldn't
But really,
follow
I'm not.
The train of thought that they were having with like who's really in charge, and I was like, it's you're the commanding officer, it's you,
Right.
You're in charge.
And I also couldn't follow what was his motive? Oh, I'm gonna kill 100 million people. Because I want them to see how dangerous I am, so they shut robots down.
So
It's
that
like,
I can
wait,
save
what?
people, like what?
Right, like what? Like, I'm gonna kill 100 million people so that they see how dangerous these robots are, so they shut us down, and it saves maybe 100 million people in the future.
Who cares
of all
about
humanity.
the nuclear
Like, wait.
fallout and the radiation that'll rain down on the Earth for years?
Yeah. I was like, dude, wait a second. This guy's supposed to be like a brilliant AI robot, whatever brain, and this is his logic. The movie, as soon as he turned into a double agent, just turned stupid. It turned too convoluted. It would have been better if Koval had ended up being one of these cyborgs also, and then they end up in like this epic battle where Koval was actually like one of these techs that went rogue, and they built Anthony Mackie's character Leo to try and shut him down because they didn't want people to know that this tech was dangerous. Something like that.
I feel like it would have been a much better film if we got a gritty, real kind of war story from, by the way, the perspective of two black actors. Like, you know, like that itself, like I immediately liked the film. I was like, this is awesome. Like just seeing two
I liked
people.
when he was talking about, he's like, why do you think I look like the way I do? And he's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, why do you think I'm not some
Neutrality.
blonde-haired, blue-eyed, all-American boy, out of Princeton or whatever?
Yeah, he was like, my face screams neutrality or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, that in itself was really cool, just having two leads that weren't white finally. But I feel like it would have just been cool to see like their point of view stuck in the war zone for some reason, and not have him be an AI at all. Like just have him be like a commanding officer and just show him.
Yeah, I get it. A movie about a drone pilot who ends up having to go out into the field and sees firsthand like his waves
with the
and collateral
robots.
damage would have been a good movie.
That would have been awesome with the robots and the freaking tank robots that the enemies had and stuff. That was all cool.
Yep.
I would have loved to see that, like more of that, without the need for like this, because like the Gumps felt real, and it felt like a technology that was achievable. It was realistic.
Yeah, Boston Dynamics is like putting out Instagram videos of them playing hockey with those things every other week, dude. Like there's robots like that, man. Yeah, have you ever seen those weird like dog robots that they like push over and they get back up? I mean, that's not that. You strap a gun to the back of those things, that is not that different than what we were looking at.
They just need
man.
targeting, yeah. But no,
And sexual organs. I mean, it is right there.
That is
dude. The technology is right around the corner.
That is literally all we need. Just.
Would you have sex with one of those dog things? if it could like, if it could respond to you.
There's so many things wrong with that sentence.
If it could respond to you and could interact with you, if it's got the same body, it does look semi-animalistic, but it can be programmed to have a holographic face that looks like whatever you like, and you can push it down, it gets right back up. It's always eager to please. Would you do it? Would you buy one? Would you test it? If the company approached you and said, Chris, we'd like you to test this.
Would they pay me?
It's not about the money, dude.
Would they pay me?
It's about the experience. I feel like if they paid you, you get into a real weird legal gray
I
zone.
would, if they paid me, I would say yes and then not do anything. I would probably just have it do chores and then send it back.
No, but they have to film it and use it for tests. Like,
well, see,
they
now you're
blur
getting
your
into the
face out.
stipulations that, weren't there when you asked the questions. I would send it back and be like,
you
it was
gotta read
great.
between the lines. That contract that you're going to sign for this, you got to be careful. You're going to end up on a site you do not want to end up
At the
on,
beginning,
man.
when he's like, you can read all 90 pages of this NDA or you can sign it, and he was like, oh, no. And he just signed it.
Yeah, he's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a likable character. Actually, both of these characters, Anthony Mackie, until he turned into, I got to be this cool, good guy, bad guy robot, I actually really liked his character in this, too. I felt like he had more... Am I the only one that feels like Anthony Mackie is... And again, he's a famous actor, millionaire, great looking dude. He doesn't give a shit that I'm saying this, all right? Let's all just calm down a little bit. Am I the only one that feels like he's really one-dimensional when it comes to his range, his acting range? He's the same guy in everything that he does.
Multi-dimensional on how beautiful his face and body are, though.
Dude, he's a stud.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. If there was AI, it would probably look like him. Super strong, chiseled dude, whatever. the sex robot would sell. I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like his robot would sell,
Yes,
but
yes.
he's like
Yes, it would.
super one-dimensional in
I
his
agree.
acting ability, man. Like
He's
the
played
same
the same
guy.
role. He plays like an ex-military or military guy. Every role.
Dude, that's Takashi Kovacs. He was the same guy as he was in this as Leo, and Leo's the same dude that he is in the Avengers.
Yeah.
He's like the exact same dude in everything, man. He's kind of, when I see him in something, I gotta be honest, it doesn't do anything for me. Like, as far as excitement.
It's
for
just
the
like,
movie,
oh, cool.
I
He
don't
played one of the least cool Avengers.
get it. Yeah. Oh, ouch. Oh, you're not wrong. You're not
I mean,
wrong.
they could have done so much more.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely turned into kind of a run-of-the-mill Netflix movie for me, man. It got reviewed pretty much accordingly. Critics tore this apart. 36% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's harsh.
63% audience score. So pretty harsh. I can't help but feel like this one just gets lost in the weeds with these Netflix originals.
Yes.
We had a conversation about this, man. Like, Netflix is trying to come out with a new original movie every month. Some months there's going to be a new original movie every week.
Are they
sacrificing quality?
Yes.
Yeah, are they sacrificing quality for quantity here? We'll see. Kind of getting that vibe here. This one felt pretty ordinary.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Where do you come in as opposed to a 36% and a 63%?
Okay, so that's really harsh. It 36 and 63 audience.
Yep.
I think that's the audience score is a little more in line. I think that the critics are just tearing it apart. I don't know. I think there's something to be said that this movie is better than some of the movies we've seen and still getting torn apart. I would rather watch this than Project Power.
Definitely. But I would rather watch this than Project Power, but I do see some similarities between them.
Absolutely.
I'll just say that.
Yes. And like, yeah. There,
Similarities in quality.
Yes. But I don't know. There was something there's something gritty and I wanted more of the world that they built, and they didn't give us that. They just gave us an action movie, and I wish that they had taken away the action and given us more of this dive into this, this wire area, this zone. Seeing those things in combat more would have been cool, but they literally just took a few different things that sold well and kind of threw it all into a package, and it just feels like a script that somebody knew was going to sell, and they presented it to Netflix, who has no idea what they're buying. And that's honestly how I feel about Netflix at this point. They just buy whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
They're just like, yeah, that'll sell. People like that, right? Sure. I don't know. They need to find somebody else to kind of peruse what they're getting. But it just felt like a generic script that the director did what they could and kind of elevated it a little bit. So I don't know. The cinematography was cool. The acting was great. And only because Anthony Mackie knows how to play this role is what I'm saying. But like the other lead character was great. I don't know. Everybody just did a decent job. There was just nothing phenomenal about it. The writing was funny. It was clever. It was there. Tried to be a little too smart towards the end. The score didn't leave me remembering much. I don't remember the score at all, so that says something.
No, me neither.
There was nothing about it really that stood out among all of the other movies of its type. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I get it, man. I agree with what you said. It's pretty ordinary. It did feel very generic. That's a good word. I liked it. I came in a little hot, saying that I was like into it the whole time. That's really not true.
I texted you saying, wow, this
Yeah.
movie is eye candy. It's dope.
Yep.
That was about 15 minutes into the film.
Right. The premise was there.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the fact that Anthony Mackie's character was this kind of cyborg thing, and I actually was really digging the bond between Leo and Harp. I liked their characters together, and I really liked where the movie was going. Hey, this cyborg guy is going to be your commanding officer. You got to go out in the field with him. It's like, okay, this is different. This is cool. But then you don't see Anthony Mackie's character do anything cyborg-y. Like, what does he do? He's just really accurate with a gun. He's not really any different than, like, those Gumps, except he's a little more mobile.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been cool to see him do more Bloodshot-type stuff where he's got some powers or he can use his tech in some way that's not just... Because why is the government going to invest billions of dollars for those things if you can't have sex with them? What is the point of them if they're not going to do anything that's like above and beyond what a human can do? If you can still shoot them and kill them,
Yeah.
They're not these robots. They get you all attached to them, so then you're still upset when they die. And the tech is gone, the expensive tech. And what does he do? He can run kind of fast, and he doesn't get winded, and he can heal. I mean, okay, that's cool. But I would have liked to have seen him do a little bit better stuff. The second they throw the line, if Koval gets the nuclear codes, it's the end of the world as we know it. It becomes every cheesy action movie you've ever watched. Yeah. I also agree with you that the story would have probably been a better or more interesting movie if it had just been about Harp and Leo. Maybe not even so much Leo being a cyborg. If they just, this is a drone pilot who killed some soldiers, and instead of, banishing him or arresting him, they put him and forced him to go and do a tour of combat on the ground, and he has to kind of learn and see his ways. Interesting enough movie. At the end, it ended up being fairly boring. Anthony Mackie's one of his better performances, though I will still say some of the writing at the very end was pretty cheesy. But one of his better performances for sure. I think I am pretty much right there with you.
I forgot to mention that. The end where he's like mission complete, and then it's just like this like slow motion walk. I was like, okay, you're right. I completely forgot about that. You know what? Just because of that, 5.5. That knocked it down. I completely forgot about that. I remember being like a little. I remember being like kind of pumped and like, okay, like this wasn't like terrible. And then seeing that, it completely deflated all of the emotions. So I am gonna change it to a 5.5 just because of that. 5.5.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm coming in at a 6. So a 5.5 from the Critic and a 6 from the Common Man. Outside the Wire. That's it, everybody. Outside the Wire. If you're listening to us on Spotify, jump over to the Instagram or I guess you could be listening other places, not just Spotify. Leave a comment down below to all you guys watching. Get involved. What did you guys think about Outside the Wire? Typical Netflix movie, or are we underrating this one a little bit? 5.5 and a 6 from us on this one. Chris, you got anything else before we get out of here today?
I have something to tell you.
Tell me, man.
I'm an artificial intelligence. Please, I have to tell you this. There's so much I have to tell you before the FBI cuts me off.